Welcome back. As we continue our coverage into the 2026 elections, we're joined by our analyst, Harvey Kronberg, publisher of the Quorum Report. Harvey, welcome back.
James, good to be here.
So tomorrow, we're expecting the Democratic race for U.S. Senate to expand by one. That's, of course, talking about James Talarico, who we expect to make his announcement that he will be officially a candidate. How does that impact the race, and does it leave any room for other people to still join?
I think it pretty much closes the race. It's most people think it's going to be between Colin Allred and James Talarico. Talarico is a fresh, new face. He is rhetorically gifted. I've been watching Allred interviews and TV presences on YouTube for the last couple of days. It's kind of the same milquetoast campaign, and I suspect that that Talarico is going to be pretty successful in energizing a new base for or energizing young voters to come back to the Democratic Party.
Well, the elephant in the room there is whether Beto O'Rourke would jump in or not, but it doesn't sound like you think he will now that Talarico is going.
The backroom talk is that he's prepared to endorse Talarico.
Interesting.
And we shall see. With Beto, it's never done till it's done. But there is a widespread belief among the donor group that Beto is going to endorse.
Gotcha. In North Texas, the redrawn maps now put Democrats in a difficult situation because there's only 2 Democratic-leaning seats up there, and they have 3 congressional Democrats. That's Mark Veazey, Jasmine Crockett, and Julie Johnson. How do you think this shakes out? Do they make deals with one another? How do they figure out who can still run where?
Well, I just came back from an event in Dallas where I was talking to politicos, and the belief is that Jasmine Crockett is safe with the district she's got. It's been reconfigured a little bit. It's Julie Johnson and Mark Veazey that have the biggest problems. Veazey can still win that district. Crockett has virtually none of her old district in it. They took Fort Worth away from Veazey, which is his base, but it's still winnable for him. But theoretically, he would have to move, and he's reluctant to do so.
Now, they seem to be in better coordination than, let's say, Lloyd Doggett and Greg Casar were, where Julie Johnson and Mark Veazey aren't taking shots at one another. Over the weekend, Julie Johnson said she wouldn't primary Veazey. Mm-hmm. So this is coordinated behind the scenes, right, Harvey?
Well, it's what is winnable, and where your base is, and the base is. It should be Veazey's to lose Johnson. There really isn't a path forward for her. It's just not enough of her district. It was the same with Doggett and Casar. Casar could theoretically win the new district that they drew for him, but it would be a whole bunch of new voters. And the Austin progressives ended up siding with the younger candidate.
I want to really briefly hit on Jasmine Crockett because the Dallas Morning News reporting that she's still looking at potentially jumping into the Senate race. What are the odds for her to jump into that race?
I would say nearly 0, but anything can happen. And I say that because she's got a safe seat. The Senate, she's a magnet for wisecracks and flashy rhetoric. And she could conceivably win the primary, but there really isn't. Nobody believes that there's a path forward for her to actually win the Senate seat.
The same things that make her a great primary candidate would make her a difficult general election candidate.
Exactly, in some ways the same as Ken Paxton.
Very briefly, we've got about a minute left. We just mentioned Lloyd Doggett. He decided not to run in what would surely have been a bloodbath between him and Greg Casar. A lot of progressive Democrats, as you alluded to, were saying, let's not have this fight. Let's not tear the city apart. Does he deserve credit for making that call, even though he thinks he still could have won it? And do you believe that he could have won it?
I do believe he could have won it. I mean, he is relentless. They drew him a district down to Laredo one time that he was able to win. He was wearing a cowboy hat and a big belt buckle at the time. And he would have been, if the Democrats could take control, he would have been a really influential chairman, I believe, of Ways and Means. And he gave all that up in order to step aside and keep the party unified. He deserves credit for it. But I think that the polling also probably showed that the activists that turned out for the primary in Austin were with Casar.
All right, that's Harvey Kronberg. Thanks so much for joining the show.
My pleasure.